But I want to thank you all for being here on this special occasion to join us and my mom and dad. But I want to thank you, first of all, take a minute for this. I want to thank you for all your cards, all your prayers, all your food, everything that you guys have done for us in the last year to get them through what we've been through. And I also would like to thank God. Truly, I'm a big believer, so I praise and raise my hand to God and thank them every day for He had them here. A year ago today, we were going between Mass General Hospital and Winchester Hospital, not knowing whether my father was going to make it or not, and not knowing how to tell my mom what was going on as she was laying in Winchester Hospital. So you guys know that whole story, so I'm going to move on to the better stuff. I'm going to give you a little quick rundown of how they met. If I mess it up, jump in and fix it. They were 15 years old, and my dad worked at the First National Store in Winchester. And my mother went to Winchester High. She would go home every day, and my grandmother would send her down the store because they didn't have a car. Go down and get this, go down and get that. So she would go down, and long and behold, there he was, her king. So she met him, and eventually he said hello, and they kept saying hello back and forth to each other. And then one day he said to her, "Do you ever go to the CYO dances in Woburn?" She said, "No, I haven't." But long and behold, that Saturday night, in she walks. Every weekend after that, they would go to the dance. Well, he would take her, he would meet her at the dance, but when the dance got over, he had to run his sister home because she couldn't walk home alone. So he had to leave the dance early, run her home, and come back to Jen. And when he got back there, they all used to go to the Gold Top Pizza. Did I get that right? That's where they met, all their friends at the Gold Top Pizza. So from there, they dated for 5 years. After that, what did they do? After that, they met, and 5 years, they went to my dad. I knew there was going to be one heckler in the crowd, right? He took her to Long's Jewelry, and they got married, he proposed to her. They got married in 1953. They went to, they were going to go housekeeping, as they called it in those days, which means look for an apartment. And he decided, instead of doing that, let's get the Army behind me, and he enlisted in the Army for 3 years. After 2 years, my mom went over and joined him over there. They visited Paris, they went on a vacation, where they traveled all the back roads of Paris and little towns in Europe, and they had a wonderful time. They were there. My mom decided that something was feeling funny. So she said, "I think I'm pregnant." So she got pregnant in all this amount of fun over there, and she came home. When she came home, I'm messing it up, but it's okay.
It's good.
Oh, boy.
Good.
When they came home, they started their family. So I'm not going to go into a whole big thing. I'm going to go with what I know in my heart and what we have seen and witnessed throughout the 52 years I've been here with her. I noticed that she always says, it's the little things in life. It's the little gentle touch from them. It's the little, how you doing, hon? It's the little things. We've heard that growing up our whole life. And I tell you, after 60 years of true love that these two have for each other, every night they sit on the couch together. I'm sure most people don't sit on the couch, but they sit on the couch together. I mean, still like side by side, his hand on her knee, and they sit together, her head on his shoulder, watching TV. It sounds not true, but it's true. He'll get up to go to the bathroom. Where you going? Then to the phone ring, who's that? He'll get up to get an orange. Where you going? And where you going? He got to the point where he takes 2 steps down and says, an orange. 2 steps again, bathroom. So he doesn't have to, she doesn't say it anymore. You know, Dad, you made her laugh always, from the lampshades on your head in the morning, to Calvin Klein boxes, the Christmas boxes. We could go on and on, but there wasn't a day that went by that didn't make you guys who you are and make her laugh. For as far as we go, as the kids, this is a little bit of right from wrong we learned from them. The right was faith, and have God live in your hearts and be true to people. And they really taught us that, how to love one another, help people out, and always, always remember God. Don't forget to thank God. Don't forget to thank God over and over. So that was it. That was one of the rights. A wrong. One of the wrongs was, he would say how we learned some, if you ever get arrested, call the hospital and book yourself a bed. Because don't call me, because you're going to end up there. So that's how we learned not to get in trouble. A right, Christmas. We don't have Christmas in our house without Dominic the Donkey. Now, Dominic the Donkey plays from December 1st to December 24th. If you don't have it playing in your house, I guarantee it's on your answer machine when you come home at the end of the day. Dominic's singing to you at the end of the day. And we could never start Christmas Eve without baby Jesus being put in the cradle. One of the grandchildren would always put baby Jesus in the cradle, and then we could begin the festivities of Christmas Eve. A wrong, never tell your father to wash the pan over again. Learn never to tell your father to do that. If your pan's dirty and he tells you to wash it, because you're going to end up with the pan on your head. We watch that. I asked one of the grandchildren last night, what's one thing that Nana and Papa have taught you in life? And he said, Papa gave me his sense of humor, and Nana showed me how to love. I asked Mark last night, just talking to him online, and that's what he told me.
That was you.
Wrong respect. Never, never disrespect your father. Never tell him backmouth him, because if you do, you have wings on and you learn how to fly out of the barn door. I guess my brother one day, we were all sitting in the dining room and he was sitting there, and all of a sudden we see a body honestly come flying through the yard. And here comes Joe. He answered it back. So we learned that quick, never. Learned how to keep quiet in church. Our church thing was when you hear Ave Maria, and she was upset in the kitchen and doing dishes and singing, we never said a word. Because if she's singing Ave Maria, you better keep your mouth shut. But through all that, all those rights and wrongs, that is what made us today. And we thank you for every right and every wrong. As we grow older, we realize each day how blessed we are to have parents like you. We hope to be, in our children's eyes, what you are to ours. I'd like to take a minute. I'd like to call my sister Betty up here, please, for a minute. As she comes up, I want my brother Joe. And my sister Debbie couldn't be here today for being in the Cayman. Rob, can you come up here for a minute, honey?
Yeah. Joe too?
No.
Kathy, would you like to come up? Kind of like go over that way, just kind of like circle around just a little bit. I love this. I don't get to do this, but I don't know how it sits back usually. Michael, where's your husband? I'd like Michael, your children, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren to please join your mother and grandmother. Julie,